All right, I'm going to teach you the basics of editing photos. I'm going to talk about layers and transparency, and this is going to be the basics of the basics of the basics. You can use Photoshop, or you can use this program that I'm using called Paint.net. Paint.net is free, Photoshop is not. If you want to get Paint.net, just Google Paint.net. Don't go to Paint.net on the internet because it'll take you to some random website. It's not the URL for Paint.net, the software. You could just Google it, you'll find it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take out the blue background of this statue, and then with layers I'm going to replace the statue's head with something else. So let's get started. I'm going to jump right in. Now the first thing I want to do is take out the background. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the wand, the little wand right here. So we're going to click on the part that we want to take out. Now this is pretty straightforward because we just want to take out the blue. Now if you go up here to tolerance, when you click on the wand and you click on your area you want to delete, the tolerance is like the strength, how strong the wand is going to react to the picture. Now let's say it wasn't perfect, and see right here, you can see it's not perfect. See, it has some of the statue. So if you were to hit delete, some of the statue would be gone. So we don't want that. So we're going to move the tolerance. So if you were to move the tolerance up, it would go a little stronger. Okay, that's too much. See? So 52%, 61%. So we're going to have to lower the tolerance. So it was at 50. It was at 50, so we're going to lower it. Maybe let's go down to 40. And see, that is much better. So we're going to hit delete. So that took out the background. So we're going to do the same right here. Now, if I were to save this, you would see the blue around the statue. So that's not what we want. So we're going to zoom in and we're going to take out that blue. So I'm going to click on the eraser right here and I'm just going to zoom in. Now you can hold down Control and the plus button, or you can just go to View and zoom in. As you can see, the little keyboard shortcut says Control plus will zoom you in. Okay, so I zoomed in, so I'm going to grab the eraser, and 2 is really small, so I'm just going to raise it to 7. So you just go around the area and just take it out, you know. Now I'm not trying to be perfect here. I'm just trying to go for speed for the sake of this video. Just going to go around and take out that blue. And you'll see the difference when I zoom out. You won't see that blue no more. Okay. And trust me, like the end result of this, it's so much better to do this because it would just look so much better. And this is not going to be the case with every picture. Some pictures, like when you do the wand, it will take it out perfectly and you won't have to do nothing. This particular photo I chose because I have to do it. And I'm trying to teach you guys how to edit photos. That's why I chose it. So let me make this a little smaller. Get in here and okay. It's getting these little hard to reach areas with a smaller brush. So now I did it. I took that out. So there you have it. Now I could save this picture without the background, but there's a problem because I don't want to see any of this. If I save this picture, I just want the statue. So when you save as, there's going to be different formats. There's going to be JPEG, PNG, and BMP and GIF are the most popular. Now, if you save it as anything other than a PNG, you won't get the transparency. It has to be a PNG file in order for the background to disappear. If you were to save this same photo as a JPEG or a BMP, the transparency, like this is transparency. That means there's nothing behind it, the checkerboard or whatever. If you were to save it as a JPEG, this would turn white. It would turn into a white background. So in order to save it with no background, you have to save it as a PNG file. Okay? I'm just going to overwrite that file. So now that's my photo. But I want to add a different photo in this head. I want to add him a different head. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to make my brush a little bigger for my eraser. And I'm going to just delete the head. Delete the head. Remember, I'm not taking my time. I'm going fast on purpose because I want to make this video as short as possible. Okay. So make my brush a little smaller and zoom in at those hard to reach areas. Going around the fingers. Okay, make my brush a little smaller. Alright, so now we zoom out, it looks like that. Okay, that wasn't perfect because look at this. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. So now we're going to want to add another head. So the way we do that is we start a new layer. Since I already have another head I have in mind, I'm going to import from file, and I'm going to take this head right here. But there's a problem because this head has a neck. So I'm going to hit my eraser tool, make it a little bigger. Now you'll see in the layers over here, there's two layers. Think of it as two separate photos because they're two separate pictures. There's one of the background and one of the head. So I'm going to have the head selected. You select whichever one you want to work with. Like if I had the background selected, if I were to go and look, I can delete him all I want, and it won't delete him because I have the background selected, but it'll delete the statue though. Okay? If I were to do it in reverse, have him selected, I can delete the statue and it won't delete. But if I go to him, it will. So that's that. Anything on top of the layer box is what's going to be in front. So what I'm going to do is have his head selected, and I'm going to delete his neck. Okay. Now I'm going to select this move, little arrow, move selected pixels. And it's gonna, let me zoom out, it's gonna bring a box around him, and you could tilt it, you could make it smaller or bigger, just manipulate it however you want, and you can also move it around. So I'm just gonna manipulate the head a little bit. Okay. That doesn't look very good, but that looks terrible. Okay, now I think that'll be all right. Okay, now you're gonna be like, okay, you can't see the fingers on the statue. Well, again, if you go to the layers box, anything on top will always be in the front. So what we're going to do is click the background layer and drag it up. And now, as you can see, the hand is in front of the face. So that's that. That's pretty much it. Now, I want to save this picture, and remember, I don't want a background in here. I want it to be clear in the background, transparent. So again, I would save as a PNG file. It has to be PNG file. Okay. Press OK. So that's that. Okay. Let's say that I have a different picture. Let's say I have a picture of the Alamo, but I want to add that other picture I just made. Well, you do it the same way. You add a layer, you import from file, and I'm going to choose this guy, and look, there's that picture I just had. You can make it bigger or smaller. We love the Alamo, so we would never do this, but this is just an example. And you would just save as a PNG, or in this particular situation, you can save it as a different format because this has a background. You don't need transparent because the background is the Alamo, so you could save this as a JPEG, which JPEGs are smaller files. We're going to save it as a JPEG. We're going to flatten it. What flatten means basically is when you have anything in a layer box, you have multiple layers. Flatten it means you're going to flatten them down to one layer. You can do the same thing here. Look, cancel. You can do the same thing here. Merge layer down. If I were to click that, it would merge it into one. And you just save it accordingly, and you're done. That's the basics of the basics. All right? Thanks for watching.